beautiful, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to this video where I am going to do another installment in my series palettes that I was this close to buying and then I didn't, and I'm going to explain why. Basically, these are like palettes that I thought I was going to buy, like I had my mind somewhat set on buying them at one point or another, and I'm just going to chat about why. This is just part of the purchasing decisions, like why do you end up buying some makeup and other things you opt out of? Because we're all trying to make smart purchasing decisions, so I'm just giving you a little peek into what goes through my mind when I buy or not buy makeup. And if you haven't been before, if this is your first video here, hello, my name is Angie. I am such a lover of beauty makeup. I love everything beauty and makeup related, especially things that are a little bit more colorful, like this look right here. So if you want to see some more makeup content on your timeline, don't forget to subscribe because I upload 5 videos a week. I did film this look and it should already be live on my channel. I'm not 100% sure. I'm pre-filming a little bit because I do have a week. My first week of April is intense. There are so many things going on, so I'm trying to pre-film a little bit so that I am not super stressed. But this is, I'm thinking this is the 4th video in this series that I'm doing, basically talking about palettes that I at one point was interested in, but then I talked myself out of them, and we're going to discuss why. Because there are so many pretty things out there, but we can't buy all of it. And even as a reviewer, I can't review everything. I have to be a little bit picky, like pick and choose what things I think is going to fit my collection, which things I think is going to fit my audience and me and my makeup aesthetics. And these are just things that I opted out of. These are 10 different palettes, and let's start with, okay, these are 2 palettes in one. These are 2 palettes in one, and these are these like somewhat new-ish palettes of BH Cosmetics. They're like the sun sign and the moon sign. I could be wrong. Listen, BH Cosmetics, they're just never tired of the zodiac signs things, and these came out in Germany, I want to say like a couple of weeks before the news broke that BH Cosmetics was filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. So these came out in Germany, and me and my friends were like, why isn't it coming to the US? Why isn't it coming to the US? Well, what's going on? And there was also another palette, which was the Aquarius palette, and that none of these palettes this one and also another BH Cosmetics palette, they didn't launch in the US because I'm guessing they have other things to talk about. I don't know if they're coming or not, but they did end up coming to Beautybay. But at the point that they reached Beautybay, I had already heard about this like bankruptcy, Chapter 11 thingy-majingy, and I didn't want to buy them because I was like, am I buying them just because like it might be the last thing that BH Cosmetics releases? Because that went through my mind. I'm like, should I buy this because this might be the last palette they release? It's that, like, I wasn't initially interested, but that thought, one of my favorite brands might be going under. Should I buy them because they might not release something more? So I was like tiptoeing around it, but then I opted out. And they also released this palette that was for the Lunar New Year 2022. It was also available at the BH Cosmetics Germany site, and then it became available at Beautybay. And I was the same year. I was like, should I buy it because like this might be like the last things that are like coming? Do I know if anything else is on the horizon? And I mean, I will let you know, nothing else has been released from BH Cosmetics since. These never came to the United States, they never came to North America, but they are available at BH Cosmetics Germany and at Beautybay. I will link everything that I'm talking about down below in case you want to take a closer peek at them. But I was close, just for the nostalgia. I was like, oh my god, is this the last thing that's happening from one of my favorite brands? But I opted out because I was like, had these been released and this had not been the situation around the Chapter 11 bankruptcy, being bought by Makeup Revolution, if none of that had happened, and I do have videos of both of these occasions if you want to hear more about these things, just check my videos, I wouldn't have been interested because these aren't exactly what I would have been wanting to review. So I'm happy that I opted out. But you know, that like FOMO or that like nostalgia thing or wanting to support, like that can grab a hold of you. And even like me, I feel like I'm a seasoned reviewer, seasoned makeup shopper, but still I was like, ooh, should I buy this? But I opted out. I stayed strong and I didn't buy it. The next thing that I almost bought were these fruit quads by Colourpop. I love Colourpop. I love reviewing Colourpop makeup. I love using Colourpop makeup. I think Colourpop makes really good makeup most of the time. I don't love all of it, but most of the time I really like it. And I've really been enjoying their quads. Like their quads, ugh, they're so beautiful. I have tried quads from 3 different collections and I think that they are extraordinary. Like it's that really good Colourpop formula. So when these fruit quads came to Ulta, I was like, do I need these? But I opted out because I have a stack of quads here and I really enjoy them. Don't get me wrong, but do I need more? Do I need more? Because the ones I have, they don't become better because I have more of them. If these quads reminded me you really love the Colourpop quads, then I could just go and use the ones I have, because I'm not going to make a dedicated video about a format that I've already reviewed on my channel. Like I've already told you that I think the quads are nice. If they if they release them in a dedicated collection, if they have more innovative color stories or color combos, could totally go for it. But it was just another monochromatic quad and I was like, I'm sure they're fine, but you have this. So I opted out. I stayed strong, even though that orange one it looked really pretty. And also, if you're wondering what's on my face, I will also link that in the description box in case you are interested. Maybe you are, who knows. Let's talk about more Beautybay. This is the Beautybay, I think it's called Love Notes palette. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about Beautybay, like just dragging me in to reviewing their palettes, even though I already know that the Beautybay formula isn't my favorite formula. And when this one was released, it was released at a time when I had a lot of things going on at the back end of YouTube. So a lot of meetings, a lot of contracts, a lot of like tax season. Like there was a lot of things going on when this was releasing. I was like, you know, getting all the documentations ready for tax season and all of that. And I was like, I don't have time to review this. And then I was like, why are you even drawn to this? You know that the Beautybay formula isn't your favorite. You already know this. And also this color story wasn't as hyped as some of the other Beautybay formula things. Because sometimes I'll buy things even though I know, I already know how I'm gonna feel about it. And I already know that at the end of the day, this probably isn't gonna be a favorite for me. But I see that you really want me to do looks with it. You wanna like see me do swatches. You wanna help, like get some help from me, like to decide whether or not you wanna buy it. So I, more than I used to, like asked me a couple of years ago and I would basically say like, no, I never buy anything for reviews. Now I do buy quite a few things for the sake of reviewing it because I can tell that it's like what you would like to see me use. So I bought the other 3 like Beautybay palettes that were released afterwards, and I bought these palettes a month ago and they are out for delivery today. Needless to say, I'm not super impressed with their express shipping. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I don't know what I'm doing with that, but I'm happy I didn't buy this Love Notes one because I didn't need this. I didn't need this and I definitely wasn't planning to do a dedicated video on it. I'm happy I opted out. Then I got sucked into the other ones, but that's neither here nor there. There was a 9-pan palette by Morphe. I don't remember the name, but I'll put it right here. It did intrigue me. I did have a really bad experience with reviewing some 9-pan palettes by Morphe in, I want to say 2020, and it really like turned me off the eyeshadows from Morphe for quite some time. But my friend Karen Harris has been reviewing some Morphe and she said that like some of their formulas actually really good. And then she got this one because I was like, no, I'm not gonna review it, I'm not gonna buy it, I'm not gonna give Morphe another chance. But Karen bought this one and she said it's one of the worst eyeshadow palettes she's ever tried. So I feel really happy that I ended up not buying it because my instinct was right. This was another one of their awful 9-pan palettes. I'm really happy I didn't buy it. Had this been another brand, I would have bought it because I really like the color story. But even now, like knowing that the quality is crap, I'm just like, it makes me a little happy. This is the new palette by Nabla. I keep forgetting the names of these. You know this one? Why do I forget the names? I usually am so good at this. It's like my secret like superpower, but now I can't remember. I love Nabla. I think Nabla is an amazing brand. They make amazing eyeshadows, amazing makeup. We'll say though that their news have not been coming here to the US. I'm wondering if they are trying to remove themselves from Ulta. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe I will make a purchase from Nabla because I really want to try that concealer. But I was very close to buying this because I love reviewing Nabla. But this is a color story that they have done before. This is very similar to that other color story that they had. I will pop up the picture next to it here. And I really like that palette. But like, they have done this. I kind of feel like how cute this palette is. It's super cute. I just feel like they have done this color story. And I think that that is the reason why I opted out. Because I was like, I've seen these colors from Nabla already. And I'm kind of happy that I didn't end up buying it to review it, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I have gotten 1 or 2 comments asking for a review, and that is just not a lot of comments. Usually when I opt out of a release and then I regret it, I get like a lot of comments asking, why didn't you review this? And it's usually more than 2, let's just put it like that. So I'm kind of happy I didn't buy it. But it's pretty, but I own it. I have this one, I have this one, I have this one, I have this one. Let's talk about REM. I remember when this came out, it was just before as I moved, and I was saying if they have express shipping, I'm gonna purchase from the brand and I'll do a review on it. They did not have express shipping, and my friend Maggie, actually from Sweden, she made an order and she got it in quite late, and I'm happy I didn't make, because I wouldn't have been able to film with it anyways, like, so it makes no sense. I'm happy I didn't do that, because like, for me to be able to film with it and get it up before I moved, I would have had to have it in my possession at around the 10th of December, and that just obviously was not happening, at least at that release. I will say though, I don't know if I've seen a single review of this brand of people being like, wow, this is actually really good, you should try this. Have you seen that? Have you seen a review of someone reviewing this brand being like, you know what, this is a really good brand, you should look into this? I haven't seen that. And my friend, like I said, Maggie, she reviewed it and she hated it. So I'm like, whew, dodged a bullet. I mean, we've heard rumors that REM or REM Beauty or whatever they're called, that they're coming into Ulta. If they do, I mean, I'll go in, I'll swatch it, I'll buy something, but I'm kind of happy that I didn't like, I'm usually the person that I'll take one for the team and I'll try stuff, but in this particular instance, I'm kind of happy someone else took that bullet. Like, I am not sad I missed it. Now let's talk about an old palette, and this is a palette that I had a little bit of FOMO over, and this is the Sailor Moon and Colourpop palette, and this one was this has been available from before and it's sold out, and they have restocked, but they recently restocked this one after I moved here. And one of the problems with this collection was that they were not shipping it to Europe. I'm guessing they didn't have the copyright for the European market. It is what it is. And I saw that when I came here to the US, and I was like, I could buy this. I could buy this now. This thing that had been kept like away from me, this thing that I wasn't able to buy, this thing that was forbidden for me, all of a sudden I can buy it. And just this like little FOMO bug biting me almost made me buy it, because I was like, oh, I can own this now. I can be the person that owns this palette. And I'm like, why though are you buying a 2-year-old palette that you surely have not missed in your collection just because now you can? So I bumped that thought out of my head and I ended up not buying it. But keep this in mind sometimes when things become available to you that you weren't initially maybe that sold on. Like, it's not like you were dying to get it, but maybe just because now they're available to you, you're like, maybe I do want it. But ask yourself, do you? Do you really need it? Do you really want it? Or is it just because it's available to you? See, this also goes with boyfriends and girlfriends. Do you really want it? Do you really need it? Or it's just that it's available to you? We all need to ask ourselves that sometimes. Okay, this is the last one. This is the last one, and as I'm filming this one hasn't even been released, and I'm still happy that I didn't buy it. And there was a little part of me that actually was excited about this launch until I saw it, and that is the Pat McGrath Bridgerton Round 2. I was like, oh, Round 2, maybe she'll do it even better this time. Maybe she can have that good quality but a more interesting color. No, there's not a more interesting color story. It's the same color story. Yeah, it's the same color story. She just took that icy blue out and put in the gold instead. Yeah, that's what it is. So I was smitten by this palette for about 2 seconds until I saw it. And I was like, wow, so it's even less interesting in round 2 than in round 1. Fascinating, really. So yeah, this is the kind of makeup that sometimes you fall in love with the idea of this makeup. You fall in love with the idea of a brand that you respect and really like, because I really like Pat McGrath's makeup. I might not be head over heels for her eyeshadow because they're not usually my kind of colors or my kind of textures, but like her foundation, her concealer, her blushes, her highlighters, her powder, they are so good. And you kind of fall in love with the idea of a brand that you really like collabing with a show that you really like, and you fall in love with the concept of it, with the idea of it. But I just smacked that thing right out of my head when I saw this palette, because I was like, had this been any other brand, any other collab, I would have been like, what is this? No, please take it away. So sometimes we need to do a reality check on ourselves. I hope that this video was a little bit, maybe, I don't want to say inspiring, but just something to keep in the back of your head when you are deciding whether or not you're buying stuff, whether or not you're buying palettes, makeup, clothes. Why do you want this? Are you gonna love this further down the road, or is this gonna be something that you love buying but not love owning? Because I feel like sometimes in the beauty community, a lot of people are very in love with the action of buying makeup, but maybe not so much with using and owning makeup. This was Shady Angie coming through. I hope you're having an amazing day. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you again tomorrow for a new video. Bye!